We are live at the Center Street Pub in Schenectady for Flock University. It is a very, very big Flock U because we are coming off a game and we are getting ready for another game. Before we go any further, let me introduce you to the head coach, the general manager, the professor himself, Damon Ware. Well, you can't. What's the matter? You can say it.
They said turn it up.
Turn it up. All right, we can turn it up for you. All right, the Damon Ware, everyone. That good?
How you doing?
You want it louder than that? I mean, I don't know how much louder. Here, the people here are very. Benny Ice is just waving at me feverishly. Ben, if you do, yeah, how's that, Ben? Is that better? All right. Just as long as Ben's happy. If Ben is happy, I am happy. Just off screen, and I'll explain why we're having certain technical issues in a second. He is the defensive coordinator. He is the man who gave up his own island just to run our defense. It is Dwayne Hollis Island, everyone.
How y'all doing?
I am the man who deserves no introduction. You can boo this man whenever you're ready. I am the team president, Jeff Levack. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted. All right, so just so you guys know, long story short, I created this broadcast out of wires from the truck, speakers from the truck. I did what I had to do. I let somebody borrow my stuff and they didn't give it back in time. So it's what happened. It's what happened.
We're here.
That's all that matters. We're here. And you're right. That's all that matters. All right. Let's get into this. Let's have a little fun. Let's talk to the coach. Coach, let's talk about the game, the instant classic that was the Albany Firebirds hosting the Orlando Predators. What an amazing game.
That was an incredible game. And one I hope the fans loved. And for a first game, what an exciting game to win in overtime, to go through the adversity, to battle through for 60 minutes and ultimately come back at the end was just a great testament to all of our coaches, all of our players, and all of our fans as well. So it was a really fun game.
I said this many times, and it's one of those things you probably shouldn't say out loud. That game is why I've never been a professional athlete, because I would have quit. There were so many opportunities. You're down 16-0. You're down 16 points. You're down. The ball does not bounce our way until late in the fourth quarter. We finally got a couple hops that go in our general direction. But it screams why this team is so good. No one gave up. No one quit. No one held their head. That was impressive.
And that was the most incredible part. It's easy when things don't go your way to fold the tent, but our guys didn't. I mean, Orlando had the perfect storm. They start off, they score. We fumble the kickoff return. They score again. They kick a deuce. We're down 16-0 before we even touch the ball. And so that's tough. At this game with a lot of scoring and the fast pace of it, being down 16-0 before we touch the ball is huge. So just to stay in the moment, nobody panicked. Everybody did their job, and ultimately we were able to pull it out. And, it was an exciting thing.
So first time being defensive coordinator, a game like that. What are you doing, Dwayne Hollis? How'd you feel? And if you're watching on camera, I've only got the one small camera today, so one of the best looking guys is off camera. Sorry, I did that for my own personal gratification.
Well, funny story. To start off the game, I actually was on the wrong end. I was on the wrong end calling the plays. So in arena football, you're supposed to be behind the offense, and just from practice, I'm normally behind the defense and doing things like that. So the first 4 plays, I'm behind the defense making calls. My DBs are looking at me all weird, like, what are you doing? Then Coach Ware whispered, he said, "You're not even supposed to be on this side," and I just got glossy eyed, like, oh.
And the great part is they didn't know, nobody noticed. I mean, that was the coolest part.
There is that moment where you start to look at these things and you wonder, like, how many people are learning as we go, how many things are getting changed as we rock through it. And like that was kind of the deal. I don't want to jump to the end, but I kind of do. Like, the overtime rules, they've changed a little bit. I know you've read them all, Coach. I didn't know what to expect, but you guys were on it. It looked like the Predators had no idea what was about to happen.
Agreed. It's very different than the rules of the past, and it all comes down to the network deal of having the games be completed in 2.5 hours. So overtime games are sudden death, and so it's tough when you have a field that you could really score in one play. Sudden death is tough. I do miss the college style overtime for selfish reasons, but yeah, it was sudden death, and we battled through it and ultimately won. So it was an exciting time.
Um, who grew the most during that game as you guys were out there watching it happen? Who's the player that grew the most as it was going?
I mean, everybody grew. I mean, that's the thing is, first games are tough. It's, you've got to figure out the execution side of your team, and it's the first time at true game speed. And so you really just never know until you're right inside the game of how your execution is going to be. But the whole team grew. I mean, the defense hung in there and did what they had to do. Offensively, we scored every single offensive drive up until overtime, and that's incredible in itself. And so the whole team grew. I can't say that there was one person that grew any more than the others, but the whole team grew. Our coaching staff grew. It was an exciting moment.
All right. So as we sit here live at Center Street Pub, getting ready for yet another game already. It is Flock University, and don't forget you can listen to Flock University every Saturday morning right there on Fox Sports Radio 95.9 and 980. I guess as we sat there, we again, I don't want to let that game go. How long do you get to celebrate a game like that before you prepare for the next one?
Sadly, we didn't get to celebrate at all. I mean, literally, it was after the game, let's celebrate for a couple of hours. Once we left the arena, we had to quickly shift our focus to Nashville since it's a short week. And so we didn't have a lot of chance to really celebrate. It would have been a nice win to go into a longer week. But this is the schedule we've been dealt, so we got to work through it.
Absolutely. You started laughing right away, Hollis. Did like one tequila shot with two maybe?
I mean, Jeff, you were there. You saw it. We took a couple tequila shots after the game. Christina was able to get me a couple of bottles to get a coach that we had when we were in a certain place, and we tried it. We loved it, and so we were able to take a couple of shots of that. But then, honestly, we had to be in next morning around 6:00 to get ready for Nashville.
I mean, all right, that's where we're at. Is we are talking about Nashville, and Nashville had a good game. They handled their business. When you I'm sorry, I got to go back one more time because I know. See, here's the problem in the world of radio. You won't have certain conversations off the air because you feel like you've had them on the air. I haven't had a chance to talk to you two on Flock University about the Predators. That's the best Predators team I've seen probably since 1999.
Absolutely, that was a great football team, and I honestly think they're one of the top couple teams in the league. And so they had some really good players. They came in with a good game plan, and they executed pretty well themselves. So I'm sure they've got a lot to build on. I'm sure they're very excited with the way their team played as well. Always hurts to lose the way they did, but they've got a lot to look forward to as well.
You played against the Predators.
Yeah.
You played for the Predators.
Yes.
What did you see in this roster that wasn't there before?
Just honestly, the overall talent just for the whole roster was very, very, very much better than in the past. But also on our end, we made a lot of mistakes on our end as well. With just been mentally ready. So I put that on me. Our defense will be a lot better from this past week.
Yeah, I mean, what did you learn from that game?
There's always things to grow on. It's the first game. Like I said, that's, you come in with a very small set of offensive plays that you want to execute well. So again, there's a lot to learn from. Our ceiling is obviously way high. And so, again, you've got to work out the kinks and those type of things and ultimately get ready for game number 2. We're super excited to host Nashville, and off we go.
Speaking of kinks, if you get the quarterback to put his leg down, I can see up his shorts. Jake Medlock's over here taking pictures. He's into it. He's right there. He's right there. I'm sorry. He was right there. It was a QB sneak. What'd you want me to do? There was a point in that game where Medlock started running the ball a little bit. What is it about your offense that it's so conducive to the quarterback running for it? Because I know that's not the original plan, I know it's open to it, but it's just every once in a while it just looks like they forget that quarterback's allowed to run forward with the way you set that offense up.
I mean, it's tough. It's one position that you really, as a defense, don't defend. And so knowing that, I'd like to use our quarterback to get some yards when necessary. And so we've, obviously we did it in the past, and we're continue to do it is find ways for our quarterbacks to get in space themselves. We've got great athletes all over the field, but our quarterbacks are great athletes as well. So we'll continue to utilize them to get first downs as well.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. We're live at Center Street Pub. It is Flock University. You get the first W. You're 1-0 to start with the brand new reinvention of the Albany Firebirds. Here comes Nashville. What are they bringing with them?
A good football team. So they've got good coaches, that have won. And so obviously they'll be a well-coached team. They've got some good players as well. A lot like Orlando. They've got some really good football players as well. They also had a short week, played against Minnesota, and then they had to get ready for us as well. So the difference is they have to travel. So they've got to take a day of that preparation time to travel, which makes it even more difficult. So they've got a challenge. Just watching some of the ways they substituted their players. I think that's interesting. But we're going to enjoy this game and enjoy tomorrow night.
I'm sorry. What is interesting? Like, so it's just a different style than what you've learned over the time.
Yeah, I mean, and just looking over the rule book, somehow I don't think they exactly knew the rule book. So
okay,
but we'll see if they've learned a thing or two tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, that was something going into this season that we were pretty aware of. Is the rule book was pretty fluid until about 3-4 weeks ago, maybe. And as we tried to figure out the right blend of
3-4 hours ago, maybe.
Well, it's a blend because you brought some leagues together to bring back the AFL. Do you bring back the AFL playbook the way it was? The NAL playbook, which Coach Ware, you had a huge part in fine tuning. What was the right way to do it? What was the right way to get everybody out there? So I can see where. I remember a little while back, I knew a head coach who told me that he knew Ironman football better than anybody, and we were going to be. I mean, that team was going to be all good, and that first couple games there were some serious growing pains. So it makes sense there might be some growing pains around the league.
It's tough. The first couple times that you do Ironman football, there's definitely some growing pains, and so it takes its time. It's Coach Hollis and I have been doing this for a couple years now, and so I think it gives us a huge advantage. For the teams and coaches that haven't done it, it's complicated. It's tough. And so I think it's going to take everybody a little bit of time to learn and process through all the ways that the substitutions work. But ultimately, I thought we did a really good job of rotating our players in game number 1, and we look to do an even better job in game number 2.
Guys looked fresh, felt like they were fresh. That was fun to watch again. All right, so Nashville. Defensively, what are you expecting there, Coach Hollis?
Well, they do have a very explosive offense. They do a lot of 5-step, which is not a dink and dunk type style. They got the athletes to get down the field and make plays in that aspect. So we definitely got a challenge. We will definitely need to make plays when the ball's in the air. So they got a lot of taller receivers. So, but our guys they're focused and they're ready to redeem themselves. So I look forward to this matchup, honestly.
5-step's not all that normal in arena, is it?
Yes, it is normal.
It is? Oh, okay. Because I remember Tommy Grady, he was like a 7-stepper. He'd get back there and let it go. But then I'm looking at, Medlock, who's every time he ran the ball, I'd yell, that's how a linebacker runs the football.
Uh-huh.
And then, Sammy Castronova was running forward before he was running backwards a lot of times. So maybe that's where I got a little lost at. So 5-step is conventional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that just to get a little distance between you and that defensive end?
I mean, it's traditional in every football, from Little League. Once you have a quarterback that can throw, 5-step is your traditional passing offense. It's where you can push the ball down the field, obviously. So it's a very normal part of the offense. but there's also other ways to get your playmakers the ball, and we just got to be ready for them trying to push the ball down the field tomorrow night.
Well, what I will say though is definitely for our D line that's a challenge to them in their own, because saying you're going to 5-step the whole game is saying that your D line isn't going to get any pressure on the quarterback, so they're going to take that as a challenge as well.
So it's a little personal. It becomes a little personal for those defensive ends.
Yes, very much.
So what you're telling me is even before there is no smack talk right now, but there's smack talk just by the way they play, or at least what
Yes.
you could as a player you might take personal.
Absolutely.
I can't wait. It feels like the world, social media, whatever, wants us to be rivals with Nashville. Like it really feels like they want this thing to be an aggressive setup. The Cats versus the Firebirds. Like it like obviously we have a built-in rivalry with the Firebirds. We played against them in multiple leagues. It goes back to '99. This is becoming a rivalry, and we've never even seen them.
I know they've done a good job of building their organization. They've got good owners. They've got Jeff Fisher. So they've got a very good and positive organization. Their game field looked nice. Their setup in their arena looked nice. So again, it's somebody that's trying to do everything right. And so ultimately, those are the teams that we want to have the rivalries with. Orlando is somebody obviously we've dealt with for many years, and so again, just to see them bring the kind of football team they did was exciting as well. And again, we wish good for all of the franchises in the AFL. We're trying to build this thing up and be the top level of indoor football for years to come.
So what you're telling me is it's only a matter of time then before we're back to where we've always been, where everyone else in the league checks us off as the Arena Bowl. Like we got to beat Albany. We got to beat them.
I mean, that's the plan. We go into every day with that mindset. We've built a culture. Coach Hollis and I have built cultures that it's all about winning. And so we've spent a great deal of time educating our players on the way we want to carry ourselves every day in practice, in meetings, in the way that we watch film, and the way we go to the weight room. And so we're trying to build the best place in the country to have players come and build value.
I love it.
And you also have the most intense coach in the country, Brandon Cisse.
Oh my gosh,
man!
Yeah, he's fired up always, which I love.
How is he more fired up as a coach than he was as a player?
I don't think he is. He was fired up like that as a player too. And like I said, me and Coach Hollis and I, we had talked about it. I yell only when I need to. Coach Hollis is like that as well. We need that guy that's fired up and screaming and yelling all day, and we get a kick out of it. We'll sit back and just watch him sometimes at practice and just get a good chuckle out of it. But we love that intensity.
Yes.
Obviously, for the trenches, we want them to be dirty, nasty, and ugly. And so Brandon Cisse is great at getting those guys pumped up and ready to play.
Sorry, you guys got me laughing. Well, they say that's what went wrong with Frank Reich. When Frank Reich had Nick Sirianni as his number 2, he's the fire. So Frank is the level-headed, the professor, and then he had Sirianni as running around firing everybody up. Now that they're separated from each other, you're seeing some flaws from the two of them. So Cisse, I want to have Cisse, Coach Cisse, not like Brandon Cisse that I'm friends with, who's always like this nice, quiet, lovable dude. I want to have Coach Cisse as my turn-by-turn directions in my truck.
Oh my!
I told you to turn right.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Why the hell did you go left?
That would actually be awesome.
I've seen a couple of questions come through. One of them is NFL Network, question mark. This is a new league. There are new teams. There are new franchises, new organizations. They've never had to deal with some of the stuff that we've had to deal with. I mean, Coach Ware's experience is off the charts when it comes to running these teams. Dwayne Hollis' experience is both on the field and now as a coach off the charts. Myself, I've been a big part of broadcasting for a long time. So Albany was good. Like we have a company called Myriad Productions, and they're amazing. They're next level. They're the ones that everybody should strive to be like.
right.
We were set, ready to go. NFL Network was working with a third-party company. They got a little nervous because some of the other markets asked some questions that caused them to pause. So last week, they wanted to see what everybody could do, and then they were going to make their judgment of how they were going to move forward. They saw what we could do. They saw that they missed an instant classic. I mean, just
gosh.
amazing game. and we will be on the NFL Network on Thursday night. So
Yes.
I got to be honest with you. As much as that's amazing and it's a badge of pride for all of us, if you're not watching the game at the MVP Arena, you're missing out.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean that crowd Saturday, holy cow!
The last 5
great.
minutes of the game,
Electric.
the whole crowd was standing. It was so electric. That's as loud as I've heard it in a while, and just what an exciting game. That's the kind of game you don't want to miss, and you can only get that by being inside the MVP Arena tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's like I said. Oh, I think now it looks like the NFL Network is not going to be there. That's great. Okay, well, thanks for telling me, guys. Well, we'll figure that out next. It's you know what? Even better. Be at MVP Arena. It was on all the things yesterday, and now it's apparently something that's come up again. So the communication guy on our team gets no communication. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to say it right now. People don't tell me what's up. They know. That's all I got to know. Thanks for that, boys. Appreciate you. Yeah. So I don't know what the reason is this time because again they loved what we had. And this Nashville game looks like it could be another instant classic.
Absolutely.
Unless they're afraid that we're just going to do Nashville ugly and they don't want to do that to Jeff Fisher. That could be. Sorry, now I'm mad. Now I want to take it on everybody. Yeah, so like it's again, the best thing to do is go to the game. Yeah, you got to go to the game. It is the 2nd of May, so we're doing Deuce de Mayo. We're giving out maracas to the first 1,500 through the doors. So every time our guy Marco's about to kick, you can shake the maraca. Deuce, 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 or get loud for the defense. Cheer on our defense with that. Don't the offense comes out, zip it. Be quiet time. You guys got so wound up. There was times where I'm sitting there doing the quiet down thing for everybody. It worked out because again, there were points where Medlock's running at people like a linebacker, and it was almost as disrupting having the noise for their defense as it was for our offense.
Absolutely.
Man, it's been a day. I can't wait to find out why certain things are going the way they're going this time.
Right.
All right, let's get back into this Nashville thing. It is Block University. We are live here at Center Street Pub in Schenectady, one of my favorite places to hang out. Big old screen where you can watch all the games, the shows, everything like that. The train goes by once in a while, which is kind of cool. Cornhole boards, the whole nine here. You can come by, have a great time. The beer garden, always a great place to hang out. We are here. We would love for you to join us. I see a bunch of the guys that are walking around. Jake Medlock. I see Sean Brown, and more showing up as we go. Most importantly, Benny Ice is here. Everybody loves Benny Ice.
Ice is here.
Everybody loves Benny Ice. That's their guy. That's what. Oh, and now I didn't even know he was coming. Here comes Spike. Spike is here. That bird needs to stay in the nest.
Hey.
Nobody gives Spike drinks. He gets out of control. All right, so Nashville coming to town. So let me ask you this one. Jeff Fisher is a very accomplished NFL name, all those things. Do you get a little excited to show what you can do with him in the room?
Of course, why not? We want to face the best of the best. So if he's done a great job, with the Tennessee Titans, and that was a great, putting Sean McNair or Steve McNair as his quarterback. So that's an awesome thing, and him being part of the organization that brings a wealth of knowledge. And why not? Why would you not want to beat Jeff Fisher and his organization?
Absolutely. I didn't know if you were gonna be like, no, they're all the same, but I like that. I like when I saw his name coming through on like, hey, this is one of the people we need to pass for. I got a little excited. I got a little geeked up. Because I know what you are. I know what you are. I know what this team is, and I know that no matter who's sitting on the other sideline, they better pack a lunch.
Yeah,
because we ain't going away. And if you didn't learn that from Saturday, I don't know what could teach you that. That Saturday game, normal people give up. They give up. They're like, you know what? We'll get out of here. Not these guys. Not this 21. That's real.
That game is it's going to be one of those ones that pushes us ahead. It's fight through that much adversity, hang in there, take the coaching, have a great mindset, and finish. And that's going to come back to be something really great for us down the stretch.
Speaking of taking, the coaching, how was halftime? Because again, nothing was going our way going into the halftime. Everybody always says they want to be a fly on the wall for those halftime speeches. I envision it as you coming in, making a statement, and then going to work with people, and then maybe Hollis says a couple things to the defense, and then Brandon Cisse just yells at everybody for 10 minutes.
Realistically, it was just knowledge based, and at the end of the day, came in, let our guys know, hey, we got to hang in there. B, we got to do what you've been coached to do. Listen to your coaches. Do what we're asking you to do. We will lead you to the promised land. And that's really was the biggest focus of halftime was do what we've worked on all week, and we'll get there. And so our guys did just that. They hung in there. They took the coaching, and ultimately we were able to come back and win.
And the crowd never gave up. Like, that's the other thing, too. Like, there were points where like something bad would happen, and I didn't even hear like an awe. It was still just it was charged forward from the stands. They were so fired up to have the Firebirds back. It was I hope we have that each and every time. Like, we really, really need that energy to come out of there. I just saw a question. What was the situation with Philip Barnett?
Philip Barnett has a minor injury, and seeing that we have a 13-week sprint this year, it was just smart to hold him out. So we put him on short-term IR, which means he misses 2 games. It's the smartest thing to do. Obviously, there's no other time for him to get healthy, so that was imperative to keep his health right for the down stretch of the season.
And you've got such a stacked 24 that you were able to do that. Like, that's kind of because it was one of those things where I was talking to Philip the next day, Phil, and I'm like, were you out? Like, I know there's a difference when he's on the field and when he's not on the field, but it's such a stacked 21 that you can do a rest day.
I mean, it's next man up. We've got a team full of 24 great athletes, and so they're all ready to play. And again, we got to plug and play sometimes. It's next man up, and they've got to handle business just like the last guy. And ultimately, they all did a great job.
DJ Connolly, we booed the refs. They didn't cheer them. No, every once in a while they needed it. I did think later. I thought the calls were a little more consistent. Yeah. I thought they got their feet underneath them. I know there's so much you're allowed to say. But.
Yeah, like I said, I don't try to blame the officials for anything. It was a hard fought game. That do I think every call was great? Absolutely not. Did I think they made some good calls? Absolutely. But ultimately, it's up to us, the players and coaches, to win those games, and ultimately we were able to do that.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got a short week, then a bit of a stretch, and we take off for Nashville. There's got to be a piece of you that's like kind of excited just to get after a quick window to get to this game. How do you keep you barely sleep as it is? Are you going to sleep at all tonight?
Certainly going to try. I mean, I don't have to be up super early tomorrow, but my body's just so trained. I'll wake up at 4 something, and it's hard. But I love this grind. I love what I do for a living. I love being around the guys. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how tired I am. I'll be there, happy, ready to go, and full energy.
I love it. What about how is it like now that we've got a game underneath us? And it was a crazy game, instant classic. Was there ever a moment Coach Hollis looked over at the sideline? Well, give me the helmet.
No. Like he said, we're more calm in demeanor and things like that in situations. So kind of when I went to the locker room, it was more of a yoga session. Like, take a deep breath, do your job, and the plays will come to us. So we were able to make 3 big stops in the fourth in overtime to get the victory. But me, I'm asleep. Okay, I still got some things to prove. Didn't like the 59 points, so I'm excited.
I've seen again, because of the constraints of the setup that I had here today, you didn't get to see the little smirk that just came across defensive coordinator Hollis's face. It is so. I don't know, man. Like you probably can put this to words better than I ever could, Coach. It's to see a guy go from being one of the absolute best on the field that I've ever seen, one of the best guys I've ever known in Hollis, and now see him embrace. And look, you can say you didn't like 59 points. That was a game that the fact they didn't score 80 and we didn't score, nobody top 70 is probably a miracle. It's got to be so gratifying to see him just grow and be excited about this new challenge.
Like I said, I always knew he'd be ready for this, and so did a great job. Hung in there again as a younger coach. He could have folded the tent as well and said, you know what, hey, we're not going to get this one, but he didn't. He stayed in the moment, stayed coaching hard, and ultimately we were able to get the win. And again, it was just a huge moment. We saw them clock stop, and it was 62 to 59. It was just an incredible moment. We were able to just look at each other and just, again, realize what an exciting game it was and how exciting it was to get the victory. And so, obviously I know him. He's chomping at the bit to go out there and give up a lot less points. And obviously I want to score more points. So at the end of the day, we've had a lot of work to do, a short week, and we're going to get ready for Nashville and have a good time.
What was that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, one of our fabulous owners, Mike Cordes, came in to let me know that we're not going to be on the NFL Network Thursday. When there's more details, I will share them the best I can. I'm assuming he upset someone. I'm assuming because Mike, he's just. I think like a camera caught his face, and they were like, "Whoa, no, nah, not gonna happen. Ain't gonna do it." Okay. So basically, what we were talking about for the first game. Again, it's what I love about the AFL. I also hate about the AFL. They gave everyone a chance. Everyone who came to the table with something to prove and attempt to join this league and whatever, they gave them all a chance, and I love that. I think it's great. Some of them, they probably should have said, "We'll see you in a year or two. Here's your homework." And I don't speak for anyone besides myself on that one. That's just me. But I think every team has the intention to compete. Every team has the ability to eventually compete. But not every team is in the position that Albany's in, where we have an amazing arena, where we have an amazing, production crew, where we can, we have a cable quality broadcast each and every week. And that's just something that we can't always we can't expect from everyone. Mike is actually putting on a headset.
I know. I
have never seen him involuntarily. Watch out for these chairs. Just off camera. Actually, I'll turn it to you. There you go. Is one of our owners, Mike Corda, and just like Ware's in the middle. Everybody else is good. We're live at Center Street Pub. It is Flock University. Also can be heard Saturday mornings 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Radio 95.9 and 980. What can you add?
No, I just want to jump on because I got the information on my way up here, and what it is there's teams out there where they got no business being on NFL Network. Right away, everybody's gonna be quick to attack the league. I can tell you right now, Travell Gaines was all in on this. It's still gonna happen.
Yep.
It's just gonna take time to get it right. The NFL is not gonna take that chance. And honestly, everybody just needs to calm down this league. Let the bugs work out. Let happen what's got to happen, and worry about Albany.
It's a long term. It's a long play.
Yeah, it's a long play. It will happen this year. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get things right with everybody else in the league. Albany set the standard of how things are going to be. Everybody's going to keep seeing that. Our feed and everything we do is not going to change, and neither is us winning and taking this championship in the end. We're going to do what Albany does and do us until everything gets fixed around and help this league grow.
Absolutely. And the bottom line is this too, like the vision of this league is based around taking care of the players, top players making top pay. So let's say we jumped into a more streamlined league for our first year back. It's only a year or two before we're looking back going, holy crap, we're in a subpar league because the AFL now has all the best players because they're paying them what they deserve to make. So we suffer through some hiccups, some hurdles, some potholes in year one, only to be that much closer to being the best league, the best team. And honestly, let's teach them all right now that they can't beat Albany. I think it's the best way to do it. It's always Albany first, and then the AFL, and we'll do everything we can to help the AFL.
Yeah, no, that's the whole idea. Like I say, Albany is a standard. We set it for years. There's a reason why we do what we do and how we do it. And that's not going to change. That's unwavering. So let's just keep doing what we're doing. Keep trying to fill these seats, get it filled to the rafters, bring it back to what was, and again, shut the rest of this league up and let's help the league itself grow, and let's give Lee and Travella just some time to keep putting things together. Putting a 16-team league together that fast is tough. It really is. And to go ahead and they did what they could do, and some of the teams out there said they could do stuff that they can't do, and that'll be addressed in due time. But for right now, let's just do what we do and keep letting Coach over here go get us another ring.
That's a little ring shopping. Keep going. That's all it comes down to. All right. Listen, that's neither here nor there. The most important thing is to be at the games, be at MVP Arena. It's the NFL Network is again, it's a nice thing. I hope it happens sooner than later, but realistically speaking, if you're not at the game, you're not having the same fun. That crowd on Saturday night, Coach, there was a great moment. You had just gone out. We hadn't even really started play yet, and Mike looks over to me and he hits me and he points, and I go, "What?" And he goes, "Look," and it was just everybody already on their feet.
Right.
It's what, like, knowing the work that you put in, knowing everything that Mike sacrificed and now Andy and Richie sacrificed, to see that, and it's only the beginning. That was amazing. That was a great feeling.
That game was electric. I mean, that's the kind of game you want for your crowd for a first game. Hopefully that'll build excitement around town. People will tell everybody that was at the game should tell somebody, let's get this thing packed up. I get it. Thursday night games not ideal. People got to work on Friday. People still in school. But if you can sacrifice just a little bit of time and come out and support us, see another great and exciting game, it'd be a great thing for all of us.
Lenny just said watching Mike's reaction to the game is almost as much fun as watching the game. We need a quarter cam. We need to just right on him the whole time. You wouldn't even need to know what the score is. You can tell by his reaction where we were at and how we were doing. All right, so we've got Nashville coming up Thursday. Then players get a weekend. We're gonna go support Special Olympics on Saturday over at the Shanghai. Very excited about that. But I guess help me out real quick. Don't let him come over here for a second, Coach.
Need some money? He said,
So see what had happened. So I got a call today about the customized fan jerseys, and that said I could get them here before tomorrow's game if I spent a little bit of money. So they'll be here before tomorrow's game.
Andy, Rich, your turn. Pick it up.
They will be here before tomorrow's game. So if you pre-ordered one of those jerseys and you've been calling and bothering and everyone, and I get it, I understand, you're excited, they will be here before tomorrow's game. So if you're going to be at the game, let me know. We'll get you set up. We'll have them in the office. And then if you're not going to be able to make the game, I will reach out to you or email me, Levack at firebirdsafl.com. We'll figure out a way to get you your jerseys as fast as humanly possible. I know you guys are fired up for them, fired up to get them to you, and that is why I spent more of the owner's money to get them here faster. I almost put in my own car, but I was like, they'd be mad. You guys wouldn't want me to do that.
Let me say this in front of everybody. No, we wouldn't. You go right ahead. I ain't mad no more. You go ahead.
All right. So don't give you the receipts I've been stacking up. Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So yeah, it's Block University. We're live here at Center Street Pub. I see the guys are here now to eat dinner. So if you want to come by and meet this amazing Firebirds roster, now's the time to do it. Spike is here walking around. Scott from the Flock Support is here with, I think it's his date. I don't know. He's got a real cute dog. I was just being a jerk. So we're here hanging out. Anything we missed, Coach? Anything we need to get to? Because I smell that food.
Get out to the game tomorrow night. It's going to be another great one.
Cannot wait. For everybody here at Center Street Pub, I give you the head coach, the general manager, Mr. Damon Ware.
See you tomorrow night, Flock.
I never get to do this one. The bald Polish Tony Soprano, Mike Quarta. If I go missing, check his trunk. I deserve no introduction, but I will give it to you anyway. I'm the team president, Jeff Levack. Ooh. That's what I love to hear. Before we end every university, we have to say those magical words. 1, 2, 3, flock you.